And ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a new episode of How Did He It? Yeah, is that hacky and schmaltzy enough for you? So basically, we're going into a team that is extremely basic. So basic, in fact, like, it's kind of embarrassing that we fucking lose to this. But it's a Shadow Knight Pyllis, an Ocean Breeze Luluca, and an Abyssal Yufine. So, the big thing in particular that we're going for is we're going to utilize Little Queen Charlotte to go into the Abyssal Yufine, and then we're going to fucking kill it. We go into one who has Death Buff, and we're still able to kind of, delete it. Now, what could we have done instead? Numerous fucking things. Because to those of you who are already paying attention, you already know what the fuck's about to happen. Basically, Shadow Knight Pyllis has Death Buff, has Rocket Punch, and is going to be going into our Little Queen Charlotte non-stop. And basically, we don't have any form of health to get back. So what should we have done instead? Well, I made a nifty little animation over here in the next few seconds that is exactly what we should have done, because why the fuck do you have a Sinful Angelica with a Little Queen Charlotte? I was mainly just fucking like hyper auto fixated on the fact of, oh, we have to have a character go who's going to be really fast, then it gets like, the Ocean Breeze Luluca to do her shit on her S3, and then we don't have to end up dealing with the truck. When it's like, yo, the solution is so goddamn simple. It's so simple, in fact, here's the units we should have used.
Alright, what do you want to do?
Do you want to make love, darling?
What did you say to me?
Yeah, literally. Little Queen Charlotte, turn that into Genoa. Solitaria the Snow, turn that into Sea Phantom Politis or Molly. You win. Now, we're going into the dreaded all mono light team, but in this particular case, it's a mono light team with a Unbound Knight Arowell, a Savior Adin, and a Spirit Eye Celine. Scratch that, the Savior Adin's already fucking dead. So, the big thing on this one is, it's a matter of, hey, do you get turn 1 with your Ox slots? If you do get your turn 1 with your Ox slots, then you're free reign to go ahead and boost up whoever it is that you wish. In this case, Arunka will go into the biggest threat that's on the team. That is Savior Adin. We go into Savior Adin, bam. Now we're down. They're down a very, very strong-ass DPS. A very strong-ass DPS that can also provide invincibility to the entire team. Now that she's gone, now we're really pretty much open free reign to go into the rest of the team. In this particular case, because we waited for Unbound Knight Arowell to go in with her S3, which refreshes all the barriers and puts barriers on everybody, then we can just kind of, wait for the immortality that Spirit Eye Celine gave to go away, and then we can just kind of kill her afterwards. Now, right here is where something I wasn't really expecting happened, was the Spirit Eye Celine is actually on Secret Art Artifact. And because of that, I'm dealing with a Spirit Eye Celine that is almost always going to be having attack buff. But this is where my plan was. Okay, let's go ahead and just slam the S3 into the Spirit Eye Celine. And because a lot of units were dying, she received a lot of cooldown on her S3. So then her AI goes, oh, I need to use S3. Bam, she'll do it. Then, here comes my Rule of Light. Okay, so let's go one more turn, we'll bring Oxlots back, and then we'll boost up Arunka yet again to just, go in for a regular hit. So that's pretty much what I'm going for right now. So yeah, we'll use Oxlots because he was really high up on the CR bar in the first place. We'll boost up Arunka. I could boost up Rule of Light if I truly wanted to, but really there's no real reason to do that as of right now. And we've already established she's not on Dust Devil, and she does a set amount of damage that's going to go in your Oxlots. The big heal from the S3 from the Rule puts you at full HP. And bam, now we're back over here to Arunka's turn. We can Soul Burn the S1, guarantee the follow-up attack, and then we're able to kill it. Yeah, just ignore that first match. Now, we're going into a Lilias, a Senya, and then also a Briar with Iseria. The one thing that immediately threw me off from the very start was, wow, so the Lilias went first. Honestly, I think this was just like faulty speed tuning. Like, it could have been, like, the Briar Witch and the Lilias could possibly be very close in terms of speed, and then it's a matter of, hey, Lilias just happened to win the speed tie that they have. Because the thing I was expecting was, I was expecting Briar Witch to go first, who was going to apply the death breaks onto my team, then I would go in with Elena, and then I would do the proper cleansing. But because we're going in an opposite order, well, now that means that Briar Witch Iseria is able to go, and able to strip if I don't have the ER, which in this case, I definitely ain't got the fucking ER that's on Albedo. So now she's open, free range, and really going to be taking one hell of a hit. Fortunately for us, our Albedo is not, like, queen thickness, but she does have a decent amount of defense. Well, not defense, but really a lot of HP that's on her. So we take this time, go into Briar Witch, we land the unbuffable, and we also did enough damage to where it also procced her immortality, and because the unbuffable was there, the immortality did not happen, and then the extra damage from 3F procs and Shazams. The Briar Witch is no more. All we have left is we just have to go through the Lilias and the Senya. So here is like the ultimate fun part of the fight is we need to get to a point where we have everything cleansed off so we can properly utilize Roana's S3 because we are taking an absurd amount of fucking damage on Albedo just from that one Death Break alone that the Briar Witch was able to give us. So thankfully for us, Elena, being super based, able to provide the cleanses that are necessary on the S1s that she's able to provide, really does sometimes make me wonder if I actually need a Doctor's Bag on her. Maybe I actually need to put her on a counter set. Maybe I need to put her on Celestine. I don't really know yet. Hey, it'd be nice if I had another one and then I would actually experiment with it, but hey, gear and enhancing and all that other jazz, it's a real pain in the ass, especially when it comes to having duplicates of certain characters, because hey guys, did you know that Shaltir actually just came out? And because Shaltir is out, you now literally have 3 spaces of inventory here, of hero inventory space left. So because of that, yo, rip you if you have fucking dupes, man, because our hero roster is just straight up not big enough. We cannot support this fucking level of like hero roster any longer. It has to be increased, and it has to be fucking soon, because they're still pushing out more heroes. Like hell, Light Sid just recently came out, which is another Cleave character, and I don't really care about him because he's a Cleave character. But hey, to those of you who do, hey, good for you. I'm just not a fan of Cleave, and I'm not really a fan of Sid in general. But like, hey, that's 298. So with that, whenever he comes out, oh fuck, now we're gonna have even less room. So hey, Smilegate, get to work on that, because it's going to be very bad very soon, because your hero storing feature is really not that great, because you can't even really store heroes that have gear. It's just something you straight up can't do, which is really baffling to me, because we also have a lot of organization sorting stuff in the character sorter, but you can't put gear on them. So it's like, oh, okay, this is really dumb. But either way, you probably noticed that I'm just kind of biding time, because really a whole bunch of nothing is happening, and that's exactly why I'm just kind of yapping over nothing here, because the Lilias and the Senya indeed are a threat, because the Lilias is going to be borrowing the attack power from the Senya that has fucking Gab, by the way, onto her S3s. And also Lilias's S1s are also kind of annoying because they deal a lot of damage in general, but basically, because of all of the oh-so-wonderful fun shenanigans that we're able to do with 3F and Albedo really being a prime and damn good anti-cleave unit, especially if you have a means of recovering from said cleave, aka Elena and aka Celestine Roana, basically, yeah, we're 100% in the clear in terms of the damage that we're dealing. And we're not even on a max 3F, by the way. We're also not even on a maxed imprinted Albedo. That is probably going to be changing in the next few days, to be honest with you. But, hey, even with these odds that are kind of stacked against you, you can kind of just roll with the punches and get your way through, because now we were able to kill Senya thanks to the oh-so-wonderful power of 3F, not really so much the power of Albedo, just because I really do like... A lot of people say, like, Albedo is super, like, underutilized and kind of, like, low-key overpowered or whatever. I really think it's just 3F, guys. 3F is ridiculous, but the big thing that makes Albedo kind of crazy, into anti-cleave at least, is Let's Go Bicorn, which is that guaranteed counterattack that she has whenever the cleave units go into the entire fucking team. But hey, that's just my opinion on the matter, and hey, goody, we're finally done with this match. That took fucking forever. And now, I'm going into a whole bunch of light cancer. So, what's the rule of thumb anytime we're going into a whole bunch of light cancer? Let's go ahead and throw DC at it, and then we'll just kind of hope for the best, huh? So, what we're going to do is we have Dark Corvus, we have Unbound Arowell, and we also have Magic Scholar Doris. The reason why we have these 3 together, one, I have Unbound Arowell and Magic Scholar Doris just because I fucking feel like it. Like, they're a pair that actually have story together, and I genuinely do like using characters that actually have a complementary story-based shenanigan in and of themselves. The other big reason, though, why Magic Scholar Doris is there is because she provides Death Buff along with Heal Buff, and Heal Buff is actually kind of big, as well as the fact of, if Zio does decide to go into Unbound Arowell, I can really start doing all my bulk kills into Arowell instead, which what you really want is you want Doris to be taking that punishment. It's just your odds of that happening are kind of low, because whenever you do that, because Arowell is actually doing the damage sharing, you can then completely swap who's tanking whenever you do a burst heal on Doris. Unfortunately, that's really not what happens, but hey, we're utilizing Devil's Descent, and we went on ahead and killed that Navy Captain Landy like it was nothing, because that Navy Captain Landy was actually on like 15k HP. And I don't even think I had 10 souls yet to do Devil's Descent, but when I saw that the HP was like only 15k, I was like, oh, okay, well yeah, that's free. Because Element Advantage really gives me a whole bunch of extra damage, and I don't even have to utilize Soulburn. Not at all. Now, we're still going into Zeo for the sake of like doing stuns there. It's not necessary to do that. I am just not going into Savior Adin, because whenever she does Gust Slash, you lose like you lose 5 souls, which is really the most annoying part of Gust Slash. If I really truly didn't give a shit, which honestly I don't have to give a shit, because Dark Corvus should be able to one-tap the Savior Adin without missing, because there's no damage mitigation that's on the team. But for whatever reason, man, this Wednesday I was really, really tired. I had a really rough-ass week, and hell, it ain't been a fucking good day in general anyway. But hey, that was pretty much what my thought process was when I was going through it. I could have gone into her more, gotten Gust Slashes up, and Gust Slash ultimately means you get Devil's Descent even faster. We didn't do that. Oh well, whatever. So now the Savior Aiden's dead, and now all that's left is Zeo, and he's taken so much abuse over the course of the match, he's just eventually going to die to some piddly little S1s. Now on to the last match. So this looks like it could be somewhat threatening, because it's a Last Rider Krau, it's a Conqueror Lilias, and it's a Remnant Violet. Unfortunately, there are so many forms of counterplay that can be done against these kind of teams that it's actually kind of baffling. First and foremost, Moon Bunny Dominiel on the team. Hey, LOL, Conqueror Lilias teams, your attack down don't mean shit. And because of that, we have Benny Mars Taichi on Straze. Well, and because we also have him naturally fast, well, bam, we're just going to straight up kill the Last Rider Krau. What are you to assume the highest HP value is going to be on any of the other 2 units? Then we have our only like means of dealing with evasion shenanigans, which is Zahhak on us as of right now. Gonna be Shouts here really fucking soon, by the by. And then we were able to one-tap the Remnant Violet. We put the Conqueror Lilias to sleep by luck, and then we just kill it with Straze S2. Now, here is an interesting one, because I was straight up not expecting this. So hey, it's Spectre Tenebria going first into my team with no effectiveness. So hey, Last Rider Krau was just able to tank that fine. Then, here's where the funny stuff comes in. So first and foremost, non-attack skill goes in. Who has the highest attack? Has to be Spirit, has to be the Spectre Tenebria. So we'll just kill that. Then we'll go into the Chloe, because I'm hoping for a chance of an Elbrus proc. And lo and fucking behold, there it is. So because Elbrus proc happens, the Roana Vigilant Eye passive procs gives me enough CR boost where I can then go next, and I have just activated my S3 trap card before the Bellion is able to use her S3 to actually inflict Provoke on me. Oh, man, I'm a fucking genius. More like I just got really fucking lucky. And also, like, straight up right here, oh, no, it's the dreaded Injury Bellion. Well, I'll go ahead and I'll tell you right now, man. It feels like the offense in the game is getting so insane right now that, like, things in the past that really fucked me up, like Injury Bellion, these are things that I kind of don't even give a shit about anymore. Because, like, right here with just Last Rider Krau, yes, he is taking injury damage, but he is taking consistent, like, AoE attacks for every turn, and he's also gaining a barrier for that. And then I also have Roana with me in the back, who, in case you guys did not know this, if everybody's HP values are actually at the same level, did you know that Roana's barrier on her S1 actually prioritizes whoever is in the back row? You just saw it right there, right? The barrier just went on to Last Rider Krau in the back. So this essentially means that almost the entire time I'm going to have a barrier, and barrier is like the natural counter that we have to injury. I really kind of think it's not good enough. I kind of want like an actual counter to injury, like something that heals off injury, or if like the heal buff was able to heal off of injury. I don't know. Maybe SG will do something about it, maybe they won't. But hey, that's why we were able to pretty much just right through the team. And, ladies and gentlemen, that is the Guild War. Welcome. Thanks for coming to another episode of How This Dumbass Ends. But either way, so I did actually try out Shaltir. She's literally been out for 1 day, and she already appears to be so much more like, oh wow, this character is so much fucking better than Albedo. The reason why I really feel like she's gonna be like, everyone's gonna be saying like, yo, this is the fucking winner of the Overlord collab, and I don't fucking blame them for this, is just because she's a DPS. DPS that come out through like collabs and any other like covenants as general, they generally, like new DPS, they generally tend to be very, very good. Now, when it comes to dethroning Shaltir from the DPS threshold of like, oh man, this unit's fucking cracked, it's gonna take quite a fucking bit to actually like release something that's going to be better than Shaltir that's in the DPS department. The only way I could possibly see it is if Smilegate starts going down like a different route of how they're going to start buffing characters. And by buffing characters, I mean units that come out and then they have like specific immunities or something. So like, let's just say a DPS like Shaltir, but then the DPS is also like immune to stun or some shit. That's the only way I could see them possibly like power creeping it. But even still, they got one hell of a fucking hill to climb to pretty much out power creep Shaltir right now. Shaltir has injury on her S1. She has a soul burn for the S1, so she can do twice as much injury for it. She has an S3 that cannot fucking miss. I literally think the only way the S3 can possibly miss is if it's on a blue unit that has evasion. I think that's the only way she can possibly miss. And then it also does a shitload of damage. And she also has stealth after her first turn. And she gives herself attack buff if she has higher than a certain threshold of HP. I believe it's 60%. That's a lot to fucking, that's a lot of shit to fill. And hey, good luck, SG, finding a way to power creep that. I'm sure you will. I have a lot of confidence in you. But either way, boys, if you liked this content, go on ahead and hit like. If you want to see more of my garbage, go on ahead and hit subscribe. I've got plenty more for you.